Hello. Um, my name is Fred Jourden, like you just said, and I'm first very honored and glad to be with you here today to try to share a little bit of my life experience. Basically, I turned 40 years this year, and 20 years ago, it's a long time ago, I graduated a high business school a bit like yours. And for 10 years, I worked only and mainly with my head. And I'm proud of that. The funny thing is that the guy before me talked about the webmail provider. I used to be the marketing director for that webmail provider. That was years ago. And 10 years ago, I was, I'd say, thunderstruck by something I discovered when I decided to not only work with my hand, but work with my hands also. The idea is that I'm a big motorcycle enthusiastic, and I was riding a very old motorcycle, older than me, and everyone would told me that that was crazy, because the bike would break down eventually, and I would be late for my appointment. So I decided that I would go back to school and learn how to service my motorcycle. That was 10 years ago. The funny thing is that this bike never broke down, actually. It's still running perfectly, and I use it on a daily basis. But the thing is that 10 years ago, I discovered this beautiful thing, which is combining both your hand and your head. And the fact is then that today, and for the last 4 years, I happen to be a bike builder. So basically, what I've discovered when I decided to change my way of life and my professional path, to turn from a white collar into a very proud blue collar, is that I had never been free before. My freedom comes now from basically the fact that whatever I have in mind regarding the project that I am undertaking, I can make it happen. I don't say I can do it, I say I can make it, because my hands, conducted by my head, bring me to that level of conception where I imagine something from a sketch or whatever it is, and I finally end up with the object that I had in mind first place. Also, I discovered that working with both my head and my hands would get me to this perfect feeling where you know that every day you learn something that you didn't know the day before. The full example is, the perfect example is basically that every day, ever since I started being a bike builder, I have increased on a daily basis my knowledge about bike building. It means that my field of expertise is not done, and my work experience is never the same from Monday to a Tuesday to a Wednesday. One of the things that I have learned from all this experience is that that's the kind of a concept that you learn in business schools, basically, when they say that you have to commit, and they tell you that you have to fine-tune your own project. It means you start from an idea, and in the ongoing process, you're going to have to maybe change a little bit of this or a little bit of that to get to the result. That's a concept. And that's a brilliant concept. But I never underwent that concept until the day I used my hands. Because yes, when we start a project on a motorcycle, we exactly know where we start. We exactly know where we want to finish. But the path in between, we just don't know it because we're going to create it. And from these three main fields of freedom, fine-tuning, and acknowledge improving, I've realized, even though I've never been miserable before, but I realized that I was taken to happiness. That was not part of the deal first place. I just wanted to do what was inside of me. But one of the very positive consequences of all this is that that took me to a level of happiness where getting up in the morning to go to a workshop where you have cold temperature in winter. When I say cold, I mean cold, like 13 degrees Celsius when you go to work, or very hot temperatures in summertime. When I say hot, I mean hot, like 40 degrees in summertime, is not a problem. When you're going to have back problems, when you're going to have muscle problems, where you're going to have blood pressure problems because you're standing up every day and then you're carrying very heavy stuff, it's not a problem anymore because the passion is here, because you know that you're going to make something out of your day. And we've heard many speakers today talking about this, and I have to say they're all right. They're all right when they say that finding your value on the market of labor is important. And I couldn't find it until I worked with my hands. I was online marketing manager before for 10 years, like I said previously, and I knew what I was doing. I could explain it in many, many, many words, and I needed many, many, many words to explain it to someone else. But still, somebody else could have done it. What I'm doing today, I'm the only one who can do it. And I don't need many, many, many words to tell you what I'm doing. I am a bike builder. I'm working with my hands. That has taken me to that level of consciousness where, and one of the previous speakers talked about it, where I know where I belong. I know where my place is. I know my value, I know my strength, and I know my weakness. And I'm becoming friends with my weakness, of course, friend with my strengths, and with all this together, I can move forward and always reach the target that I have given myself to. In kind of a conclusion to talk about all this, it's obvious that I started with a passion, and that because of that passion, I decided to drastically change my way of life. Some people say that I made a 180 degrees turn. I wouldn't say so. I would just say that I have added a layer to my field of expertise. I've just added my hands. But I've realized that one of my fears was that working for my passion might have killed the passion, because that's what I was said. I was given this advice, like, just keep it as a passion. Don't turn professional, because you might be disgusted. And the fact is that every day when I make something, that feeds me up, and my passion grows even more every day. So I just let you imagine the size of my passion now. It's really huge. And by talking about all this and sharing this experience with other people, I realize that making creates also the passion. And let me just explain you in little words. I've realized that by accessing to this process of making with my own hands and being very proud of the results, even though it's not the best one, but still, that's the one I have made myself. My passion has kept growing in me to tell me to keep going into that direction, which was not the most obvious, the easiest, and the most money-making one. But that doesn't matter. And in the end, I would just like to tell you, because I think that's the main message here today, is if you make, you will get the passion going in. And if you first place even have a passion, then just listen to it, because that will make you grow up faster than you think and go into directions that you have no idea about today. Thank you.